So we're going to be going over some volume problems today. The first one, a rectangular prism is 4 inches long, 3 inches wide, and 8 inches tall. Eli packs the prism with unit cubes to find the volume. Abby uses a formula to find the volume. Eli is trying to match the formula Abby uses to his packed prism. He lists some descriptions of his packed prism. Which part of Abby's formula in the box below matches Eli's descriptions? Write a phrase from the box on the blank line next to each description. So the number of layers, that's the height. The number of layers is the height, H-E-I-G-H-T, in the prism. Because however many layers, that's like how tall the prism is. The total number of cubes, well, the total number of cubes would be the volume. And then the number of the cubes in the bottom layer. So the number of cubes in just one layer is the base area, because that's going to be your length times your height. So that's the area of the base. Area of base. All right, part B wants to know the actual volume of the prism. So we have to go back where we first read. It said it was 4 by 3 by 8. 4 by 3 by 8. So 4 times 3 is 12, and 12 times 8 is 96. Wow, I'm having trouble writing this morning. So it's 96 cubic inches. A flute case is shaped like a rectangular prism. The case is 5 inches tall, 3 inches wide, and has a volume of 255 cubic inches. What is the length of the flute case? So we have a length, we don't know what it is. We have a width of 3 and a height of 5 and a volume of 255. So we're going to multiply 3 times 5, which is 15. We're trying to figure out what goes in this blank. So we're going to use the inverse operation, 255 divided by 15. So 255 divided by 15. 15 goes into 25 one time. Subtract and get 10. Bring down our 5. 15 goes into 105. Let's see. 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90. And then 105. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So our missing length is 17 inches. A planter shaped like a rectangular prism has a length of 4 meters, a width of 4 meters, and a height of 3 meters. Attached to the side of the planter is a smaller planter with half the volume of the larger planter. What is the combined volume of both planters? So we have a large planter and a smaller planter. So we're going to use large planter, smaller planter. The large planter is 4 times 4 times 3. 4 times 4 times 3. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 3 is 48. Now, the smaller planter, it says, is half the volume of the larger planter. So it's half of 48? 24. So the larger one is 48, the smaller one is 24. What is the combined volume for both planters? Well, we're going to add 48 and 24, and we get 72 cubic meters. The next one, Justin has a crate that is 8 feet long, 2 feet wide, and 3 feet tall. Decide whether each of the crate sizes described below has the same volume as Justin's crate. Choose yes or no for each crate size. So first we have to find the volume of Justin's crate. 8 times 2 times 3. 8 times 2 times 3. So 8 times 2 is 16. 16 times 3, we just did a second ago, was 48. So we're looking for other ones that also equal 48. 9 times 1 is 9, times 4 is 36. No, that doesn't equal 48. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 times 2 is not 48. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 3 is 48. 8 times 3 is 24. 24 times 3 is more than 48. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 times 4 is 48. So we had two of them that equaled 48 cubic feet. Number 5, a farmer built a trough to fit in the corner. The trough is made from the rectangular prisms. Use the diagram to find the length, which is A right here, and the width, which is B right here. So if I'm trying to find A, I'm going to use some highlighters here. A is a length. A length goes left to right. So I'm going to look at all my other lengths. This is a length, it goes left to right. This is a length, it goes left to right. So I'm going to take all of my lengths and use them to determine the one that's missing. This is 8 altogether. This little bitty piece here, just from here to here, here to here, that's 3. So if I subtract 8 minus 3, I get A, which is 5. Now B is a width. So to find the width, we have B, we have this width that is 7, and we have this width that is 9. The whole width is 9, from here to here is 7, so 9 minus 7 is 2. 2 and 7 go together to give you the whole width of 9. So, switch pens, B is 2. Now we want the volume of the trough. I've already shaded it. We have our pink piece and we have our white piece. So our pink piece has a length of 5, a width of 2, and a height of 2. 5 times 2 times 2, that's 10 times 2, which is 20. Our our white piece has a length of 3, a width of 8, because it goes all the way back. Length of 3, that's a 9. Length of 3, width of 9, because it goes all the way back. And the height is the same. The height is still 2. So 3 times 9 times 2. 3 times 9 is 27. And 27 times 2 is 54. We add our two pieces of our prism together and we get 74 cubic feet. Number 6, the diagram shows the measurements of a frame into which concrete is poured to make steps. The steps are shaped like a rectangular prism. Which expressions, so that's going to be more than one, can be used to find the volume of the concrete used for the steps. So we did one like this yesterday in our workbook. We're going to cut it both ways. So we're going to cut it horizontally and then we're going to cut it vertically. So if I cut it horizontally and I shade this piece right here, I have a gray piece and a white piece. My length of my gray piece is right here. What is that length? Oh, it's right here, 6. That length is 6. What is the width? None of these widths of this gray piece have any measurements on them, but if I use opposite sides of the rectangle, the widths of the gray and the white piece are the same, so that's 16. And then the height is also 6 of my gray piece. So let's see, 6 times 6 is 36, so we need to do 36 times 16. 6 times 6 is 36. Oh wait, we don't actually have to solve this one, I forgot. We just have to find the expressions. Okay, so let's find the dimensions of the white piece. Our length is 14, Our width is still 16. And our height is not 13. The height of both pieces is 13. So I have to take, I just want this white piece. I got to take this gray piece off of it. So 13 minus 6, which is 7. So now I'm going to look at my answer choices and which one says 6 times 16 times 6 and 14 times 16 times 7. Letter B. Now we're going to cut it going vertically. So now my line doesn't go here. All of this is shaded. So my gray and my white piece, my length is still 6. My width is still 16. But my height now is 13. The white piece, the length is not 14 anymore because this is now gray and white. So I want just the white piece. I have to subtract the gray piece off of it. Since this gray piece is 6, I have to do 14 minus 6, which is 8. Our width is still 6. Our width is still 16. And our height is right here. Our height is not 13. We want the height of just this white piece. So I have to take this gray piece off of it. The gray piece height is 6. So 13 minus 6, that means the white piece height is 7. So which answer choice says 6 times 16 times 13 and 8 times 16 times 7? Letter choice E. All right, we're going to go on to the back. So my marker came through on the other side a little bit. Sorry about that. So the total number of cubes gives the volume of the prism. The number of layers of the cube gives the height of the prism. The number of cubes in the bottom layer gives the base area. Same questions as the front, just instead of having a word box, you had to come up with them from your brain. A rectangular prism is 2 inches long, 8 inches wide, and 7 inches tall. What is the volume? So 2 times 8 times 7. 2 times 8 is 16. 16 times 7, 11, 112 cubic inches. A tissue box is shaped like a rectangular prism. The box is 8 centimeters tall, 5 centimeters wide, and has a volume of 480 cubic centimeters. What is the length? We're looking for the length. We know the width is 5, the height is 8, and the volume is 480. So we multiply 5 times 8, which is 40. And then we're going to divide 480 by 40. So 40 goes into 48 one time, and 40 goes into 80 two times. So our missing length is 12 inches. A pool shaped like a rectangular prism has a length of 8, a width of 4, and a depth of 6 meters. Attached to the pool is a cool-down pool with 1/4 the volume of the larger pool. What is the combined volume of both pools? So we have a pool and a cool-down pool. So the pool is 8 times 4 times 6. 8 times 4 times 6. 8 times 4 is 32, and 32 times 6 is 192. The cool-down pool is 1/4 the volume. So that's 1/4 times 192, or 192 divided by 4. So if we work out 192 divided by 4, 4 goes into 19 4 times. And 4 goes into 32 8 times. So the cool down pool is 48. The regular pool is 192. The combined volume means I need to add both of those, 192 and 48, plus sign. So that's 10, that's 14, and that's 2. 240 cubic meters. Justin's has a box that is 12 feet long, 6 feet wide, and 4 feet tall. Circle the dimensions below that have the same volume as Justin's box. So we have 12 times 6 times 4. 12 times 6 is 72. 72 times 4 is 288. So we're looking for other dimensions that equal 288. 7 times 9 is 63. 63 times 4 is not 288, so it's not that one. 2 times 6 is 12. 12 times 24. 12 times 24. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 1 is 4. Put a 0 for our placeholder. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 1 is 2. That is 288. So that one has the same volume.
We're supposed to have lockdown drill this morning.
All right, 16 times 3 times 6. 3 times 6 is 18, so we have 18 times 16. 6 times 8 is 48. That's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Put a 0 for our placeholder. That's 16. We add our partial products. We get 288. 8 times 4 is 32. 32 times 9, 327. Ooh, 288 again. All right, our last one. Our last one, 5 times 8 is 40. And 40 times 7 is 280, not 288. Close, but not it. All right, moving on to number 3. This is very similar to one we did on the front. These are practice getting you ready for your test. So we're looking for the measurement of A. We have our length of 7 and our length of 2. So if we subtract 7 and 2, we get 5 for the measure of A. All right, for our width goes cattywampus. We have a width of 14 and a width of 6. So if we subtract 14 minus 6, we get 8. Now we're going to find the volume. So I'm going to cut it this way. I will shade in blue. So we have our blue piece and our white piece. Our blue piece is 5 times 8 times 1. 5 times 8 times 1, which is going to be 40. Our white piece is going to be 2 by 14 by 1. 14 times 1, which is 28. And when we add them together, we get 68 cubic feet. Our last one is similar to the one we did on the front. We're going to cut it both ways. So I'm going to cut it horizontally first, and I'll shade this piece back here. So we have our gray and our white piece. The length of our gray piece is 3. The width of our gray piece is right here. It's the opposite angles are the same, opposite sides are the same. So our width is 5. And our height is not 7 because 7 is gray and white, but our height is 4. The length of our white piece is 9. The width is 5. And our height, not 7, not 4. We have to subtract 7 minus 4 to get 3. So which answer choice says 3 times 5 times 4 and 9 times 5 times 3? Or it could be the same things in a different order, which is this one here. 3 times 5 times 4 and 9 times 5 times 3. They're the same numbers in a different order. It will still give us the same volume. Now we're going to cut our prism vertically and shade, and we're going to find it again, gray and white. So the length of the gray piece is still 3, the width is still 5, 3 times 5, but this time the height is 7 because that is all gray. The length of our white piece, we cannot use 9 because it stops here now. So we have to take the length of our gray piece away from it. So the length of our gray piece, remember, was 3. 9 minus 3 is 6. The width of our white piece is still 5. The height of our white piece, the height did not change. This is still the height. What was this? This was 3, remember, because 7 minus 4, if we take the gray piece off, 7 minus 4, we're left with 3. So which answer choice says 3 times 5 times 7 and 6 times 5 times 3, or something similar? Same numbers in a different order. 3, 5, and 7, 6, 5, and 3. Letter D. If you have any questions, please email me.